smallest vehicle allowed on the streets of New York City. So, watch your head for any low-hanging lights, branches, signs, fruit in the form of my jokes. There'll be a few low-hanging fruit jokes. Just watch out for those. I do ask, please don't stand while the bus is moving. I have spent many hours practicing on how to balance on a moving bus. It's way harder than it looks. And then finally, I just ask that you don't throw anything overboard. This includes any trash or me. We may throw this microphone overboard if it stops working, but for now. And then finally, just keep all your hands, feet, legs, anything that can go outside of the bus, in the bus. And with that, here we go. So we are right now in Times Square. Times Square is out of this world, right? It's amazing. It is so out of this world, you can actually see the lights of Times Square from outer space. So if you're on the moon right now, you'd maybe be able to see our headlights driving through the streets of New York. Hey! Oh, I know those guys! Hey! Those guys were on my bus ride the other night. Times Square used to be called Longacre Square until 1907 when a little newspaper called moved to that building in front of us, and they got the whole square named after them. Just wait till I start my newspaper. Things will really change around here. They can only hire the best workers there because they're only once a year. On the right here are some street performers. They're going to do some flips over those people in a few minutes. See that billboard right in front of us under the New Year's Eve ball? That is the most expensive billboard to advertise on in all of Times Square. This thing we're at right now was previously a red light. Never heard of that before? On the left here is the ABC. It's where they filmed. Good Morning America films there. If you wait outside, you can see your posters through the window on TV. And on the right here is the Hard Rock Cafe. It's where Elvis Presley premiered his first movie in the 1960s. It was Love Me Tender. Now you can get a plate of Love Me Chicken Tenders for under 60 bucks there. On the left here is the subway. The subway is the public transportation of New York City. Primarily underground, a few spots it comes out of the ground. And you may look around and see all these beautiful Broadway marquees everywhere. Anyone see a Broadway show while they were visiting?
Tomorrow.
It's super easy to become a Broadway theater. All you need is 500 seats or more. Then you'll have Broadway theater. If you have 409 seats, If you have 499 to 99 seats, you're in an off-Broadway theater. If you have 98 seats, you're in an off-Broadway theater. Anything less, you're a double-decker tour bus with a guy named Josh on it. Does that sound familiar?
That's it.
99
On the left
cents.
here is Mr. Softy ice cream truck. It can get quite hot here in New York City, especially during late July, early August. Woo-hoo! That was close. Tight turn. On the left here, you can see a bunch of scouts. The scaffolding can be used as a jungle gym. You're welcome, Dad. Yeah. You can see that giant tree up ahead of us on the left side of the bus. That is Bryant Park. Bryant Park was named after a guy named William Cullen Bryant. First places in New York City to have free public Wi-Fi. Woohoo! Bryant Park is also known to have some of the nicest free public restrooms in New York, although that is not tough competition. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in Bryant Park during the summertime. They have free movies on the lawn every Monday. There's also free ping pong tables. It is BYOP though, bring your own paddle. There's also free concerts on the lawn on that stage over there. And every once in a while they have a book club where an author comes and you get their book and then do a talk back with the author. There'll be a movie tomorrow, actually, tomorrow night, since it's Monday. If you look on the right there and see those glowing orbs over there to the right, that is the subway station. Green orbs means it's an entrance. Red orbs is an exit. Any other color, please be careful. I don't know what to be down there. There you go. Those are my friends. I told them we'd be driving past here around this time. Bryant Park is my favorite park in New York City. It's awesome. This little building right here, that's the bathroom. There's an attendant that lets you know when there's room for you to go in. Also on the right side of the bus here, this is the New York Public Library. If you recognize this building, that is because it was in Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Tobey Maguire, as well as the Ghostbusters. I know, cool, right? So that's 3 more movie credits than I have. There are so many books inside the New York Public Library, they actually have to keep them in tunnels underground. It is creating kind of a problem though, because the rats are learning how to read. The literacy rate is up to 94%. or should I say the literacy rat, of New York City during the time of the Great Depression. He gave them to the city because he felt that patience and fortitude is what New Yorkers needed to get through the trying times. Clearly, he forgot about food and water.
Wow.
Also, patience and fortitude is what you all exemplified while I was figuring out how to fix the microphone. I greatly appreciate that. Everybody get your cameras ready. We are about to pass the Empire State Building. Everyone's favorite building. Here it is, coming up on the right. Everybody say ooh! Woo! Everybody say ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
That normally calls out King Kong. Let's see if it worked. Oh man, he seems to have the day off. I guess he has a cold. A king cold. If you didn't know, this is the building that King Kong the gorilla climbed on. Empire State Building won the race to be the tallest building built the fastest in the world. It was built in 1 year and 45 days. That sounds safe, right?
Yeah.
However, when the Empire State Building first opened, everyone would make fun of it, calling it mean names like the Empty State Building. Coming up on the right side of the bus, right here. This is the Marble Collegiate Church right here on the right. If you've ever seen the TV show I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball got married there for the second time. However, the marriage almost didn't happen, not because of an issue with the bride and groom, but because there was over 1,500 I Love Lucy fans crowding outside blocking the doorway. They made it through though, don't worry. Coming up on our left, we got some more trees. This is Madison Square Park. If anyone here is named Madison, this one's for you. This is home to Shake Shack. The original Shake Shack was built here. Anyone get a chance to try Shake Shack while they were visiting? It's a really delicious burger restaurant. Shake Shack started here as a hot dog cart, and now it is a burger restaurant in over 320 countries. Also, that triangular building in front of us, that is the Flatiron Building. If you are a fan of the Marvel movies, that is where the Daily Bugle is inside that building. The Flatiron Building, the ownership is a little bit of a pressing matter. Deposit on the building. It is one of the first buildings to have an entirely steel structure in New York City. Also, mostly empty inside. Here it is, a little bit closer up. The Flatiron Building. Also on our left, right here on the left side of the bus, that is the Harry Potter store. Only place in America that you can get butterbeer outside of the Universal Parks is right there at that store. Although I have a confession, I have never seen any of the Harry Potter movies. I know, I'm sorry. They're on my list, don't worry. This area we're in right now is called Greenwich Village. Colleges and universities here in New York City. Anyone have a guess?
True.
True, it is true.
Woo!
There's one on the left right here. This is the new school. It was opened in 1919 maybe time for a name change. Home to one of the greatest graphic design programs in the world. We are also heading deeper into Greenwich Village, and this is a very heavily residential area, and they do not like hearing my voice through the bus speakers, so I'll have to turn my microphone off. But I'll come back on when we get out of this area. I do want to point out okay, everyone, I'm back. I'm sure you all missed me. We can be loud again, don't worry. So on the left there, we passed Brooklyn Bagel Company. Bagels are one of the 5 food groups of New York City. The reason New York City has such good bagels, you may be surprised to hear, is actually because of our water. The water in New York City is some of the best in the country, and that provides for that nice doughy texture. I would also like to congratulate everyone on your acceptance into New York University. Good for you all. We are now in NYU territory, also known as New York University. NYU is one of the largest colleges in the city. They don't have a centralized campus. They say that the city is their campus. However, there is an NYU superstition that if you walk under that colonnade arch we saw back at Washington Square Park, you will not graduate in 4 years. Unfortunately, I can confirm that theory to be true. It's been 21 years, still no diploma in my mailbox. Hopefully next year. But that's actually how most colleges in New York City work. They're kind of spread out throughout the city. They have a centralized area where the buildings are for classes, and then their dorm buildings are spread out. But most students move out of the dorms after their freshman year and move into apartments. And if you're looking to move to New York, now is the best time actually, because they're all moving out of their apartments. So there's a bunch of open rooms available. We are now about to cross over Houston Street. If you are from Texas, this may look down over tons of different places in New York, like your local pizza shop, the hair salon, the Boost Mobile even. We're now entering into Chinatown. Chinatown has a bunch of these little pop-up markets where you can buy purses or jewelry or sunglasses. And I know dining in New York City can be confusing, but don't worry, we still have the classics. KFC on the left and McDonald's on the right. New York City has the largest population of Chinese people outside of mainland China. On the left here, you can see some graffiti. That is the street art around here. I really like graffiti. I think it's a super cool way to decorate the city. But also, you'll see some of them and wonder how they got up there to paint them, because it is just regular people with a paintbrush or spray paint. Town that we just passed. Here are those fruit stands I was talking about on the right. And on the left, with these glowing letters, you can see Little Italy over there on the left. Little Italy is known for their incredible Italian food. It's so good. I actually went there on a date the other night and we got Mexican. Inside the big country of New York City.
There you go, man.
So we are about to board the Manhattan Bridge. This is the last of the original 3 suspension bridges over the East River. This will be the best view of the city skyline we get all night. I just ask that you please, please, please stay seated. I ask them to... No need to thank me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, on the right side of the bus, you will see the Brooklyn Bridge. The Statue of Liberty will be farther back in the water. And One World Trade Center, also on the right side. I will have to turn my microphone off because you won't be able to hear me. All you'll hear is the wind up here. So I'll see you in Brooklyn.
Go PV. हाइट से हो गया है यहाँ बहुत चल में साइकिल अलाउड ही नहीं है नीचे होंगे वो
an abbreviation for down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. I'm going to tell you how much it costs to live here. Everyone, brace yourselves. $5,000 or more a month for a one-bedroom apartment. Everybody say ooh! Yes, this is the most expensive area to live in all of New York City. A lot of celebrities live here. Anne Hathaway, if you know her. I'm pretty sure that's Robert De Niro over there. Whoa, made you look.
On rent?
Hey!
Woo!
So Brooklyn is one of the 5 boroughs of New York. The other ones are Manhattan, which we were just in, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. If you have ever seen the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, where he pulls that boat back together, that is the Staten Island Ferry. Staten Island. You met me, and after this we are all going out for crab meat, specifically crab legs. Big game, I'll be here all night. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is a certified New York City performance for you right there.
Certified.
Is very complex. It started as a housing development for expected World War II veterans. Then it became a place for white-only tenants. Then the tenants banded together to get rid of the segregation rules. Now it is one of the most expensive places to live in New York City. It's right here on the right, is the start of it. It's not as expensive as Dumbo, but it is $3,000 or more for a small apartment in this building. You may also be surprised to find out they don't have central air conditioning. Everyone needs to have their own AC unit. But that is actually pretty normal for New York, unfortunately. My own apartment doesn't have AC. Granted, I do not live in Stuytown. On the left here is the Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital. It marks our ascent into Hospital Row. We're going to see a lot of different hospitals on this road. Mount Sinai is one of the larger hospitals. They have a bunch of different branches all along the city. If you're wondering, this is still Stuytown. All these buildings on the right is still Stuytown. On the right here is a wonderful little restaurant called Rosemary's. They have great food, but also outdoor seating where, if you miss me a little bit later, you can see me riding around on my next bus. I don't know what it is about Stuytown that makes it so expensive. I tried to look it up and there isn't really a reason that I could find even. Yes, that could be it. Hospital. It's balancing a taxi cab on its nose. Upper building. It is made entirely made out of copper. It's meant to emulate two people dancing together. And since it is made out of copper, it will eventually turn green, like the Statue of Liberty. It is a residential building. Apparently, there's a pool on that connecting bridge that we saw over there. But I haven't been invited over yet, so I haven't seen it. I do wonder how it will look next to all of these not green buildings when it turns green. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. The emergency room we saw back there was the Tisch Hospital. It was donated by this family called the Tisch family, which was just valued at over $1 billion. So if anyone's a relative of the Tisch family, I would love to talk to you after this. The Tisch family also donated the Tisch School of Drama and Arts to NYU. That is where the acting program is. They have produced a lot of very prolific actors there. On the right side of the bus here is going to be the Pepsi Cola sign, so keep your eyes peeled. Here it is on the right, the Pepsi Cola sign. It's there to remind everyone that Pepsi is better than Coke. Whoop, I said it. But actually I got hit in the head with a can of Pepsi the other day. It didn't hurt though, it was a soft drink. Some NYC gossip, that sign used to be on this side of the East River, but then one of the higher-ups at Pepsi lives over there and has to have it moved over there instead of over here so he can see it better out of his window. On the right here, this rectangular building is the United Nations building, also known as the UN. They have a courtyard with 194 different flags, 193 for all of the countries involved in the UN, one for the UN itself. It's this rectangular building on the right. They raise and lower the flags individually by hand every morning and every night. It takes them a half an hour to raise them, half an hour to lower them. Also, if there are countries meeting there on the weekend, they will use one of the most accessible buildings in all of the city, built for all different types of mobility needs. Here it is on the right here. You will see there is a large garden full of 30 different types of trees in there. It's open to the public. People love going to see the large variety they have. Also, if you're lucky, you'll see Bigfoot in there. That's where he stays on vacation. Up in front of us, that sparkly building, is the Chrysler building. The Chrysler building. Bigfoot, you ever heard of that guy? Yes, kind of. Well, he's nice. So that's the Chrysler building up in front of us. Chrysler building, actually one of New York City's biggest losers, unfortunately. It lost the race. Two tallest building in the world, built the fastest, to our old friend, the Empire State Building. The Chrysler building was built by this guy who owned an amusement park called Dreamland on Coney Island. Unfortunately, Dreamland was a nightmare. It burnt down. So he did what every wise person who just had an amusement park burnt down would do: build a skyscraper in New York. If you see the little statues on the corner, they are meant to emulate hood ornaments of cars, since it is the Chrysler building. On the right here is Pfizer World Headquarters, actually. Only medical institution to have their world headquarters in New York City because it's so expensive to have it here. If you see that blue glowing building up ahead of us, that blue top glowing building, that is New York City's newest skyscraper. It was opened in 2020. Great year to open something, right? That is One Vanderbilt, also known as the Summit, if you've heard of the Summit. The Summit is like a lookout. You can go up there to, I think it's the 96th floor, and look out over the whole city. It's made all of glass up there, so they make you wear sunglasses because the way that the sun reflects through the glass windows. Wasn't it just blue? Wow, I've never seen it change like that. Yeah, it's called the Summit. Yeah. This sparkly one on the right, or the one farther down? This is the Chrysler Building. That's One Vanderbilt in front of us. That is One Vanderbilt. Also, One Vanderbilt. Yep. Yes. Inside there's this place called the Summit. It's like an observation floor. It's on the 96th floor, and you can see like all of the city from up there. One Vanderbilt. Yep. Grand Central Station has 30 different train tracks inside, going all over the country. Inside, there's a place called the Whispering Gallery, where you can stand in one corner and whisper something in the corner, and someone can hear it 30 feet away. So be careful what you say in there. That clock face is rumored to be made out of Tiffany glass. That is not confirmed. I've been trying to ask Tiffany about it. She's not answering my calls, so I'm going to ask her friend Victoria about the secret.
Snapchat her, bro.
The 6 of that clock is a door, actually, where you can go outside and clean the face of the clock if anyone wants a new job. And that guy up there is Hermes, the Greek god of travel, watching over all the travelers. Inside of the station, there is a painting of the night sky where one of the constellations are actually backwards than you would ever see in real life because of a miscommunication between the astronomer and the painter working on the project. Also, if anyone's seen the animated movie Madagascar, this is where the animals try and escape, and where Alex the lion gets hit by the old lady with the purse. Happened right in there. Here is One Vanderbilt up closer. This is it right here on the ground floor. This is the One Vanderbilt, also known as the Summit. So we're now headed back into the heart of Times Square. We're going to pass a few old friends. The first ones will be on our left, Patience and Fortitude, the Lions. They said they would wait up for us. I hope they weren't lying. Thank you for laughing at that one. It's one of my favorite ones. Also, we're going to get really close to the New Year's Eve ball, if anyone missed a picture of that before. Restroom again on the left if anyone needs it. It's been a long ride. Hey! Woo! I don't know those guys. On the left here is a bunch of clocks telling the time from all over the world if anyone wanted to check what time it is back at home. They have Tokyo, Hawaii, Sydney, Australia, a bunch of other places on the left corner right there. Also, fun fact about New York City, honking actually is illegal. It's punishable by a fine of $350. You may be surprised to hear that, as we have heard many honks throughout our ride. If anyone goes to these food carts on the left, this little cart right here, those are known as street meat. So if you got food from there, that would be that you're getting street meat. They sell like hot dogs and shawarma, a bunch of stuff. Yes. Okay, let's see.
New Delhi.
Yes. Some are more famous than others, like the Hall Rose. That one is really famous, so everyone goes there. I have no idea. Okay, I will. On the left right here, this is the Knickerbocker Hotel back there, that red building. The Knickerbocker Hotel was built by a guy named John Jacob Astor IV. Unfortunately, he passed away on the sinking of the Titanic. Funnily enough though, Knickerbocker Hotel is where the martini was invented, which is a drink without ice. Woo! So we are now getting back into the heart of Times Square. We're almost to the end of our adventure, which is so sad. I'm having a lot of fun. A few more things to point out. On the left there, if you see those red letters, that is the New Amsterdam Theater. What? That's the New Amsterdam Theater. Disney has a contract with that theater that if they renovated it, they can do whatever show they wanted there for 99 years. Right now, Aladdin is there. Yes. Your question? A spin-off of the movies on stage. It used to take 2 days to go and see. It was 2 separate plays that you'd see on 2 different days. They just revamped it and combined them all into one kind of longer play on one day. Here it is on the right.
Yeah, that's another person. That's Aladdin, and that's me at the bottom.
The special effects of the Harry Potter play are incredible. This building on the left right here is a wax figure museum. You can see some of your favorite celebrities made of wax. Unless it's really hot and they forgot to turn the AC on, then you can see some of your favorite melted celebrities made of wax. On our left, if you see that sparkly sign that says Empire, that is the AMC movie theater. Used to be a Broadway theater, now it's a movie theater. You can go inside and still see the balcony of where the seats were. Also, that movie theater used to be a couple hundred feet back where the Applebee's is, but they literally picked up that building and moved it down to the end of the block. Statues of famous New York City landmarks made of jelly beans. Again, there's the AMC Theater on the left, where it is now, and it used to be right here where this Applebee's was.
बिल्डिंग जाते हैं आप इतने बिलीव है ना AMC Theater इतने जाते हैं तो मिलता है
On the corner, on the left over there, is Carlo's Bake Shop. If you've ever seen the TLC show, The Cake Boss, That is one of the locations. Their main location is in Hoboken, New Jersey. The cake boss is this guy who makes specialty cakes on the TV show. And also, next to Cola's Bake Shop is Port Authority.